Whitey would have loved last night's victory over the Boston Red Sox. The Phillies salvaged that 4-game series. Now they're back into the National League, but they've got a tough task, and so does Aaron Nola, making his start tonight against the Arizona Diamondbacks, one of the surprise teams in Major League Baseball, and one of the surprise teams really in the National League West. The Diamondbacks and the Rockies have combined for 84 victories so far. It is a complete turnaround from last year. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with John Kruk, as we get set for tonight's ball game. Two of the big reasons why the Diamondbacks have turned things around are Paul Goldschmidt and Jake Lem. Offensively, these guys have just taken the next step with each passing year.
Yeah, both guys over 50 RBIs so far this season, on their pace for well over 100. And Paul Goldschmidt, Tom, is a guy that seemingly every year he's in the running for the MVP. You see the unbelievable power he has. He's a great first baseman. He can also steal a base. The only good thing we have going for us is that he does struggle on the road. But if you get by him, then you have to get to Jake Lamb, who hits behind him in this lineup. Another guy with unbelievable power to all fields, a plus defender at third base. We see the power right there. If Aaron Nola is going to have success against this offense, which is a talented offense, those are the two guys he's going to have to keep intact.
You think about their RBI totals, they have 110 RBIs combined. What of those 110, 98 have come against right-handed pitching, which, of course, is what Nola is, and they'll see him tonight. So we'll see what happens. The Phils trying to quiet the D-backs and put together a winning streak of their own. It'll be Aaron Nola on the mound. He'll be opposed by Patrick Corbin, who's had a lot of trouble in first inning of games. We'll see if that continues here tonight. Well, Ty Kelly with the game-winning hit last night. What does that get him? It gets him a chance to start tonight for the Phils. He's in the lineup. We'll get to those lineups in the first pitch when we return to Philadelphia. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. Find your favorite model today. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phillies. Visit citizensbank.com. By Coca-Cola, taste the feeling. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at ibx.com. Out here at Citizens Bank Park trying to get the Phils a second consecutive victory. Facing the Arizona Diamondbacks for the first time. The Phillies will be done with the Diamondbacks in a couple weeks. They play them here and then out in Phoenix on the next road trip. Let's take a look at their lineup. Brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. So Gregor Blanco has been filling in center field for A.J. Pollock. He's done a nice job. Then Peralta batting second. And Paul Goldschmidt, who has been red hot during the month of June. He spearheads the power in this lineup along with Jake Lamb, the cleanup batter. And they will face right-hander Aaron Nola. Nola comes into this game with a record of 3-4 and an ERA of just over 4.4. 45 innings of work so far. The opposition hitting .257 against Aaron Nola. I thought he was okay in his last outing, John. He only went 5 innings, but that was more because the Phillies lacked a little offense more than anything else.
Yeah, and let's hope he can get deeper in the game. I mean, you see what happens when a pitcher can go deep in the games, keep a game close like last night, give your team a chance. You have to go to the bullpen for 4 innings pretty much every start. Those guys are going to get worn down, and more than likely you're not going to win many of those games.
Yeah, he had a 2-0 lead in that game against the Cardinals before allowing a 3-run home run to Dexter Fowler, and that was the final inning that he worked against the St. Louis Cardinals. Let's take a look at our Nissan keys to tonight's ball game.
We talked about it in the open, and Lamb, you got to keep those guys down. You let those guys start getting off in this series, and it's going to be a long 3 games for the Phillies pitching if they both get hot. And again, we said it last night and say it tonight. If you're not going to score a lot of runs, you better come up with a big hit. Ty Kelly did it last night. Let's hope someone can do it again tonight to give us another win.
Well, here we go. Gregor Blanco will lead things off for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Blanco hitting .265 with a home run and 4 runs batted in. We mentioned that he's been filling in for A.J. Pollock. He, along with 2 other players, have been filling in for A.J. Pollock. Hazel Baker and Ray Fuentes. And the first pitch of the night is outside. We're underway, and it's 1-0.
Talking to the announcers for the Diamondbacks, he said this team has adopted the Boston Red Sox mentality of grinding out at bats, taking pitches.
And a line drive base hit it to right field. And Blanco now with his third hit on this trip. And that will bring David Peralta to the plate.
These guys had an off day yesterday, and they got here Wednesday night.
A lot going on in the city of Philadelphia.
There we go. Yeah. Let's hope they're tired.
Peralta.
They will run too. They like running. They like stealing bases, putting guys in motion.
56 stolen bases so far this year. That's 5th most in all of Major League Baseball. They also like to steal third, and it's not just second base.
Yeah, double steal third. They like being aggressive.
They have 15 stolen bases of third, which is tops in all of baseball. And a quick toss over. Last 10 days, the D-backs hitting .294 as a team. Overall, they're hitting .261 for the year, 9th best in all of baseball. Complete turnaround from last year.
Well, pitching's the key for, last year's Zach Greinke struggled. Corbin he was just coming back from Tommy John. They usually say that the second year better than the first.
Another throw over to first base, and Blanco is back. Pete is back calling the run game. Blanco's getting a little dirt out of his uniform. Tapper foul, and it's 0-2 to Peralta. Home plate umpire tonight is Carlos Torres. Paul Nart is the crew chief. He's at first. James Hoy is at second. And Chris Guccione is around a third. Up high, and it's 1-2. Last year, the D-backs finished at 69-93. At this point in the season, they were 30-39. So 11 more wins, 13 fewer losses. There goes Blanco. The pitch is tapped towards second base. Galvis flags it down, steps on second, and throws to first. You want to talk about quick hands. Freddie Galvis just showed some quick hands.
That could easily have skipped past Freddie, but watch his play. Foot on the base, catch the hop, perfect. I mean, could you ask for anything better than that right there?
His defense has just been stellar.
That's a man who trusts his hands right there. Look at the bench.
Yeah, I love the reaction from the guys in the background.
That helps. Keep them guys off base in front of these two monsters coming up.
Yeah, the first monster is Goldschmidt. He's hitting .323 with 15 home runs and 53 runs batted in. Up and in, 1-0. He was 4 for 8 in the series against the Tigers. Diamondbacks won both of those games against Detroit. And they have the total opposite record in interleague that the Phillies have. As you see where Goldschmidt ranks in the National League. 47 walks, first in runs scored.
And that's the thing, that walk total will probably start to slow up because of the fact that Jake Lamb's doing so much damage behind him.
Just missed off the outside corner. There is Jake Lamb waiting on deck.
Goldschmidt struggles on the road. I wonder why that is. The guy's such a good hitter. I mean, those splits aren't normal for him.
No, it's drastic. 252 on the road. Swing and a miss. 95 on the heater from Aaron. Side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. It took just 12 pitches. And we'll move to the bottom of the first here in Philly. Down on 12 pitches in their half of the first. Let's take a look at the Phils lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Well, we mentioned Ty Kelly making the start tonight. He's in left field, giving Daniel Nava the night off. Howie Kendrick is back in there in the number 2 spot, hitting .330 this year, but excellent numbers against the Diamondbacks. They will face left-hander Patrick Corbin. 5-6 with an ERA of 5.38. Real strange numbers, John. He gets beat up big time in the first inning of games, and he also gets beat up on the road, much like his team's offense.
Yeah, it's you can't understand it because this is a great hitter's ballpark, Citizens Bank, but the ballpark they play in Arizona is probably a better hitting ballpark. The numbers don't make sense, but hopefully we can jump on him early and keep that trend going for Corbin.
Odubel Herrera will lead it off. Odubel was 0 for 9 against the Red Sox in the last 2 games and 0 for 14 overall. And it's 0-1. Some of the scouting reports on Corbin are because he struggles so much in the first inning of games, it essentially takes him out of games. He's allowed 23 hits in the first inning, which is tops in all of baseball.
I wonder why that is.
Strange.
I never understood that.
And the Diamondbacks have tried different things. They've shortened his warm-up session. They've lengthened his warm-up session.
I know some guys that struggle that warm up, sit, and then warm up again like they've simulated the first inning already.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Herrera. And a swing and a miss. Herrera is struck out. Ball was in the dirt. He didn't realize it. Yeah, there's the first out. He's now 0 for his last 15.
Breaking ball by Patrick Corbin. That's his bread and butter. The good fastball with that breaking ball to lefties. And again, when you can bounce it and get swings and misses, kind of speaks to the free swinging of the Phillies offense.
Well, he definitely was free swinging. Howie Kendrick takes a strike.
You look at the velocity, 95. I mean, he and Nola are similar. One's lefty and one's righty, of course, but fastball, breaking ball.
0-2, back-to-back 95. That one was up a little bit. Corbin on the road is 0-5 with an ERA of 9, compared to back home where he's 5-1 with an earned run average of 3.45. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Bob Manolowicz of Wilmington, Delaware. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then Big Bob will win $200. Introducing the new signature crafted recipes at McDonald's. I'm loving it.
You like those uniforms? The dark gray?
I don't like them.
I don't either.
Off the hands, out towards second, backhanded by Drury. There are 2 outs. I understand the marketing part of it. I'm sure that their fans really do enjoy them. They're different. They're supposed to be cooler in the hot weather for some reason. I'm not sure how.
Well, it looks like there's a bunch of mesh on it.
Yeah, they have a number of uniforms, though.
Yeah, don't they have some the same color, but like they have the Carolina blue?
Yes. Low, 1 ball, no strikes. They have jerseys that are the color of the Red Rock, the red. Aaron Altair hits one to the right side. Diving stop by Drury. He throws from his knees to get Aaron Altair. That's an excellent play. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. Corbin, 11 pitches, gets through the first inning. Well, if you're the Diamondbacks, you're probably feeling pretty good about that. We'll go to the second off some pretty good defense. when you combine your home and auto insurance. Talk to an agent today or call 800-STATE-FARM. You could save hundreds when you combine home and auto. State Farm, here to help life go right.
You all right?
I am okay.
Good.
I think I butchered the McDonald's name. You asked me if I had looked at them previously.
Forgot to do this one?
No, I don't always look at them. And that one just caught me a little off guard. There's Jake Lamb to lead it off. And he takes a pitch outside.
Friend of Murph.
I said Manolowicz.
Well, you can see a W somewhere. No, maybe not.
Outside again, 2-0.
You want to take another stab at it?
I really don't. When we hit a home run, I'll say it.
All right.
Looks like there should be another letter in there, though.
That's not the play.
You put one in.
2 balls, no strikes to Lamb. And it's 3-0. The dugout's getting on Carlos Torres, by the way, for a couple of the pitches that were thrown in the first inning and even in this inning. And he barked over to the dugout saying those pitches are off the plate. And all 4 were basically in the same spot. And a leadoff walk for Lamb will bring Chris Owings to the plate.
So what you're saying is he either struck him out and now there's an extra strike,
right,
or 4 balls.
I thought one of them was close to being a strike. I thought the other 3 were kind of off the plate. Well, even Chris Owings is having a solid year. .296 with 7 home runs and 38 runs batted in. Curveball, that's the best one so far. The 2 he threw in the first inning were kind of floating inside.
Hit another grounder to Freddie. Maybe get Howie involved in this one too.
That one is line foul down the left field line. Diamondbacks are +83 in run differential. Well, they are averaging over 5 runs per game.
Doesn't seem to bode well for us, does it?
It doesn't.
That's why they play them.
They're averaging over 5 runs per game. The Phillies are averaging just under 4.
What do you think the odds were of us beating Chris Sale yesterday?
Probably pretty slim. I was thinking about that game last night and just, how refreshing a game that was, because there was so much balance to it. Ty Kelly's game-winning hit, but the play by Howie Kendrick.
Yes.
And the play by Daniel Nava.
Yeah, and with Chris Sale pitching that 4th inning when Howie dove for that ball, game-saving play.
Absolutely.
You don't think about it in the 4th. All right, it's 4th inning, but the way Sale was pitching, the way Pivetta was pitching, that's 2 runs, and 2 runs for Sale. Sale was going to be enough, and right there might have been. Ty Kelly got the player of the game, but Juan Samuel should have got another. He should have got something dumped on his head too for that great send of Andrew Knapp.
Talked to Sammy for a while today about that decision. No balls and 2 strikes to Owings. A hot line drive off the glove of Freddie Galvis. He was looking to try to double up the runner at first. It just took his eye off it. So Freddie with his 5th error of the year. Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, Freddie wanted to check and see. You see Lamb right there. He did freeze a little bit, but Freddie, you can see Freddie peeking up at him. See Freddie right there. It looks like he's looking at Lamb. Didn't follow the ball all the way into his glove to see if he could turn another double play.
His reaction too told the story. All right, so now Drury's coming up, 5 for 8 against the Tigers. One ball, no strikes. Drury's hit it 5 straight, 7 of 8. He seems to like this number 6 spot. This is the 47th game that he's played as the number 6 hitter. Everybody knows their role. Outside again, 2-0. What if Rupp saw something as far as the arm angle goes?
Yeah, it looked like he's tugging that breaking ball a little bit. He's more aiming it than just letting it go. Like he's trying to, because he, like you said, he hung one middle end or inside off the plate to Paul Goldschmidt, and now it looks like he's trying to force the ball to be down and away to the righties with the breaking ball instead of just, turning it loose out of your hand with the breaking ball grip and letting it go there. It's an interesting take right there by Drury. 2-0 fastball right down the middle.
On the outside corner, 2-2. Drury did not agree with that.
That's what I mean, though. The 2-0 pitch, very hittable pitch, and now the guy makes a pitch that, is it off the plate? Yes, it's off the plate, but you get a called strike, and now it's a battle. Or you turn it loose in that 2-0 pitch, you got a shot. Pace has kind of picked up, hasn't it?
They do grind it out like the Red Sox. Swing and a miss. He got it with a breaking ball. Second strikeout for Nola. And now Daniel Descalso will be coming up.
Number 3,
now that's the breaking ball that we'd like to see from Aaron Nola right there. You see how that thing's tumbling? Looks like a strike, knee-high fastball, and it breaks down at the. It covers the plate, but it down by the ankles of Drury, and the deception of that pitch, looking like a strike and breaking out of the zone and getting the swing and miss.
Descalso swings at the first pitch, and Ty Kelly is under it. 2 outs. Well, one more batter for Nola, and then that error by Freddie Galvis won't be a big thing.
Yeah, let's hope he can get it. But I mean, that's one of those. Freddie picked me up in the first inning. I got to pick Freddie up in the second.
How long is this play running through Galvis's head? In all seriousness, does it depend on the player?
Yeah, like when I was in the outfield and I made an error, it could have lasted a month with that thought in my head. But I think Freddie's so good, he knows that that won't happen again.
Jeff Mathis, it's a little tapper and it hit him out of the batter's box, so he is out. And the putout goes to Cameron Rupp. And Nola is able to pick Freddie Galvis up here in the second inning. So Mathis makes contact, thinking it's going to head out a little farther, and then it hits him. Boy, that's the clearest we've seen this year. At Citizens Bank Park, and it's Chevrolet Father's Appreciation Day. All men 15 and older will receive the Hawaiian shirt that Tommy Joseph is sporting. Go to Phillies.com for more information and to get your tickets. Now the Phillies went down quietly in their half of the first. And by the way, it's the first scoreless first inning for Corbin since the 30th of April. Let's see if they can get him here in the second. Ball's hit sharply, flagged down by Lamb on the backhand. And he throws Tommy Joseph out. One out here in the second.
I think the corner guys for the Diamondbacks are going to be okay. Might have something going for a few years. Great play by Lamb. He understands that, and that's a thing. You know, talk to Buck Solon a lot about clocks. You know, inside your head. He knew he had time with Tommy Joseph run. He didn't have to rush a throw. Just got up, made a strong throw over to Goldschmidt to get Tommy, who hit the ball hard.
Well, now Michael Franco. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Michael hitting .224, 7 home runs, 31 runs batted in. He only has 1 home run in his last 97 plate appearances. That's a little light for somebody like Michael Franco.
Looks like he's having some issue. I don't know if he had that thumb guard on. He decided to take it off after that swing.
Is that what he was popping in his back pocket?
It looked like it.
Owings charges. Does a little double clutch. 2 outs. 4 ground outs already for Corbin. Last night's one of their last night's heroes, Ty Kelly, will get a chance to bat.
Amazing. You know, rarely gets a start. You get that 1 big hit off Chris Sale, and you jump right to 6 in this lineup.
Well, here it is. Last night said he got a breaking ball.
Got it. One of the few mistakes Chris Sale made with that breaking ball. He hung it. Catcher Andrew Knapp going all the way from first to home.
Well, Sammy did say that. He said that the reason that he sent him, it was a couple of them. And number 3 on the list, and not necessarily in that order, was how Knapp attacked the base path. He said he put himself and me in a position where I could send him. So the other thing he said, his scouting on Benintendi is that he doesn't have the strongest of arms compared to the other 2 outfielders. And he saw a little bit of a loop in the throw. And that's what led him to think he could send Knapp if Knapp was moving. And he said, quite honestly, the way Sale was throwing, I felt like I had to take that chance because we had a lefty coming up next, Odubel Herrera. And it could be a chance to get a run, maybe steal one, and it did. Phillies.com. Go to the fan section for all the information. And please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, John, the question is, who is the Diamondbacks' all-time leader among catchers in games, runs, RBIs, and walks? The answer will be revealed a little later on. We just picked some numbers. We just wanted to mix them together and see if come up with the leader. Those are those rare baseball numbers: games, runs, walks, RBIs.
Trying to think.
You have seen him this year.
I have?
Yeah. Well, no, you haven't. We have. Though.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, there you go. I'm going to say, because I would have remembered.
Yeah, you would have. Corbin takes outside.
Right, where would I have seen? Where did Ben see him?
Ben saw him in the Midwest. 2-0. Cameron Rupp just said to Aaron Nola, let's go. So listen toward the outer part of the plate to these lefties.
Understand. I mean, is Corbin a good hitter?
He is not. He's hitting .080 this year.
And that's a 2-1 changeup, 83 miles an hour.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the best selection of pitches. He just walked the opposing pitcher. That's the second walk issued by Aaron. And that brings Gregor Blanco up, and it brings us to our State Farm combo. State Farm here to help life go right. And Blanco, his last 15 starts, .315 average. Peralta, his last 8, a .407 batting average. Last 8 road games, Blanco has led off. He has started the game with a hit or a walk in 6 of those 8 games,
including tonight.
No, they thought they would miss A.J. Pollock, and in reality they do.
Yeah. Yes.
He's out with a groin injury, but these guys have filled in nicely.
And you know, we talked about last year the turnaround. A.J. Pollock missed most. Didn't he miss all the season or most of it? You know, with that injury sliding into home.
Out to left field, Ty Kelly. He'll run it down. And 1 out for Peralta.
Yeah, it just baffles me. Like, you know, maybe the double by Chris Sale yesterday kind of put a little startled our pitchers with, well, these lefty pitchers
are going to hit.
But a 2-1 changeup.
Yeah, unless the thought process is there's a problem with the fastball location, so maybe the changeup, I don't know, maybe it gets him back to where he needs to go.
But the pitch before was a 2-0 fastball for strike.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
After the inning, we'll go ask Larry Anderson.
I don't know if you want to ask him about.
No, I do.
Okay.
It'd be good to hear that rant. I need a good rant right now. Look at the lead by Corbin, though. I mean, he's probably going to steal.
1 pitch, up high, 1-1.
If he has to dive back into first, he's going to take the first base coach, Dave McKay, out.
Yeah.
Tell you what, how about Dave McKay? Every year, he looks better in the uniform than most of the players.
He does, and he's been around in uniform for a long time.
Good man.
Tony La Russa, one of his right-hand men for a long time. To the right side, and it's picked up by Kendrick. Nola's there to cover. 4-1 on the putout. That'll bring Paul Goldschmidt to the plate. Pretty special player, Murph, this Paul Goldschmidt.
You know, Ed, he really is. You look at his numbers over his career, you just shake his head. He's been second in the MVP 2 different seasons in his first 7 seasons. He is a special player. You know, here at Citizens Bank Park, historically, he's been pretty good, batting .273 in 18 games, 6 home runs, 15 RBIs. But you guys touched on the fact about his home and road splits. They are remarkably different this year, batting .387 with 9 home runs, 33 RBIs at home. Then you take a look at his numbers away, just .252, 6 home runs in less games, but batting just .252. And you ask yourself, why is that? And you know, there's a couple of reasons. One, Chase Field is a very good place to hit, but also they said he's not nearly as patient on the road as he is at home, so that may play a part in it too. But as you guys mentioned, the entire Diamondbacks team is falling into that rut.
Yeah, and you just saw that. He wasn't patient on that at bat, and he hits one to shortstop on 1 pitch and is retired. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Still a scoreless game. The D-backs and the Phils. And by W.B. Mason. Who but W.B. Mason for fast free delivery? Nobody does it better.
Nothing better than fried onions. Nothing.
I wonder how fast they can get one up to you.
I'd like to find out. I need something to wash down that coffee ice cream.
Coffee tonight?
Coffee ice cream. I had it yesterday, you know.
Frank was
winning streak. You got to keep it going.
You do, and Frank is now a national star.
Frank is trending,
yeah, Ryan,
from what I understand.
Ryan Lawrence from Philly Voice wrote a story about Frank.
Frankie Two Scoops?
Yep.
When you get a name, oh wait, Cameron?
Cameron hits it the opposite way, but it's tracked down by Peralta.
When you get a nickname from a Hall of Famer.
Right.
That
means you've made it.
You're trending and you got to run with it. I mean, you got your 15 minutes of fame for Frankie Two Scoops, courtesy of Michael Jack, and he left me today. Couldn't find him. I went over there for the coffee ice cream to, you know.
Oh, Frank did? He was probably doing more interviews.
Well, I had to make an appointment. You know, I put my name in, and, you know, he, like a doctor, you know, you put your name on the list, and he comes out whenever he feels like it.
It'd be so great if you had to take a number. Freddie Galvis, the batter, he takes a strike, 0-1. One of those digital counters behind him. 53. 0-2. Fanatics got some popcorn. Look out, everybody.
He's sloppy, isn't he? He's kind of a slob.
He is slob. He is a slob. No regard for what's around him.
No. I mean, look, big green rear end is sitting on people's laps, and they can't see around him, but yet they're still trying to take a picture of him.
They know they're protected if there's a foul ball. Galvis waves at the ball in the dirt. And Mathis throws him out. Second strikeout for Corbin, who still is not allowed a base runner. And we have 2 outs here in the third. So much for his struggles.
Well, you know, the thing with high velocity is when you throw that breaking ball, it's, as a hitter, you think you can put it in play. And the Phillies just, you know, when you're swinging at breaking balls in the dirt, I've always found that pitch a real tough one to put in play. Hard if you put it in play at all. There's only a couple guys that I've seen it hit a ball that bounced, Ichiro and Vladimir, and it's a tough pitch to hit when it bounces in front of home.
I am sure it is. Well, I think the key too is that he's working ahead of a lot of hitters as well.
Yeah, they got to be in swing mode.
0-2 pitch. And it's fouled back to the screen by Nola.
Tell you, they rave about Mathis behind the plate, don't they? As far as his game calling and his defensive part of his game.
I think it's the only reason he's been around for so long, because offensively, this is his 7th season, and I know we're not done with it, where he has hit under 200. But defensively, he has been a whiz. And it's more game calling, I think, with young pitchers.
Yeah, and you know, you can see down the road where, like a lot of journeyman catchers, backup catchers, that he'll be probably a manager someday. Just hope we're around to see it.
All right, chopper to third, cut off by Jake Lamb. And 9 up, 9 down for Patrick Corbin. He has not had much difficulty through the first 3 innings. No hits allowed. We'll move to the 4th here at Philly. Crickets, something to smile about, and look at all the smiles around the Fanatic, even though he's dumping popcorn every which way. And watch the young lady who is trying to take a selfie, videotaping the Fanatic, and then all of a sudden the Fanatic knocks her phone down. She might have to head to Cricket Wireless. She still thought it was the greatest thing in the world.
What if the Eagles need a defensive back to strip someone? Bring the Fanatic in. Good.
The phone is perfectly fine.
As anyone who's ever broken multiple phones, those are.
That's what happens when you carry 2 around, Johnny. You're going to break them.
I've had bad luck with phones. You know, what I got, since we got time. Nothing's going on. Trust me, people. I got this phone, and I can't remember the name of it, but it can get wet.
Yeah.
Because I play golf,
And you
and
sweat.
I sweat like a. I mean, it's.
Or
like,
you jump in the pool or the ocean.
Well, I don't do that.
All right, well.
Yeah, I don't want to get pushed back in the water. But I got it so I can make phone calls while I'm sweating. Really been a godsend.
All right, so but you haven't dropped that one anyway.
Oh yeah, I drop it all the time.
Do you have an extra protection on it or anything?
I don't know. It's whatever this thing is. This green thing hasn't broken yet.
I think I have the same cover as you have, but mine's in red, and it is the best protector I've ever gotten.
Yeah, this one hasn't broken at all. And I've dropped it numerous times.
Yep. It is the same one.
Yep. But this phone, I don't know what, Android maybe, but it can get wet, which I need desperately.
You should test it and jump in the pool.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, mine's red. John's is whoa, whoa,
Uh-huh.
whoa.
Yeah, I got the
Would've
100.
tested it.
I got the 100 green in case I drop in the grass. I can't find it.
Called Incipio.
Oh, what?
Incipio. That's the cover.
I can't read it. I don't have my glasses here. That's what mine is too, right?
That is exactly what yours is.
All right.
We were sold a bill of goods, Johnny. We were both sold a bill of goods.
Back to the game. Get Jake Lamb out here and let's move forward. Let's go, boys.
Jake Lamb, who walked his first time up. 2 balls, no strikes to him. On the outside corner, 2-1. Lamb had a solid year last year, too. 29 home runs last season. So John mentioned in the open he's on his way to 100 RBIs, but he's also on his way to eclipsing his home run total, too. 50 of his 57 RBIs have come against right-handers. I mean, he's going to face more righties anyway, but there's a noticeable struggle in producing runs with the lefties.
The only sad thing about that is we don't have any lefty starters.
And just one lefty reliever.
So he's probably going to be anchored down in that 4 spot in the D-backs lineup, even when we go out there next week, right?
I would think so. And a line drive base hit it to center field on a 3-2 pitch. Curveball that hung up. So here are the Diamondbacks numbers home road, 26-9. What Torey Lovell, the manager, wants them to do is protect the man cave, as he called it. And then 15-17 on the road. But look at the difference, 293 to 226. The run differential between home and road is incredible.
I mean, just looking at those numbers, you would think that something's going on at home that probably doesn't go on the road. I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but there's been a lot of speculation with teams in the past, you know, with little help with the signs, and I mean, just those numbers say, wow, that's such a stark contrast. I mean, I don't even think the Rockies splits are like that.
No, I don't think they are either. In fact, the Rockies are very good on the road this year, which is part of the reason why they've been so successful.
Maybe they like being at home. Maybe they like being in their own bedroom. And
well, it is a good hitter's ballpark too.
It really is. I sadly didn't get to play there. I got to play in the minor leagues there, though, now outside.
And spring training. Oh, spring training.
Well, I mean, it was good going there in July.
114.
Yeah, it was nice. Dry. It's a dry heat, though, like an oven. Torey's doing a good job, though. Long time coming. His name got come up, you know, with a lot of teams that needed managers. His name was always brought up.
Yeah, when Mike Hazen took over with Arizona, he knew him from his time with the Red Sox.
He's got a good guy in there with him too, and Ron Gardenhire. Got to play golf a few times with him when he was with the Twins down in Fort Myers, spring training.
Here's Gardenhire.
There he is. He's a beauty.
1 ball and 1 strike. Outside, 2-1 to Owings. Gardenhire, Mike Butcher, the pitching coach. Line drive, base hit to left field. Now that'll put runners on first and second here in the 4th inning. HP's new series of color LaserJet printers deliver unmatched quality, and their Jet Intelligent toner cartridges print up to 1/3 more pages. Get yours from who but WB Mason today and experience the difference. Nobody beats WB on HP. So a quick conversation between Rupp and Aaron Nola.
What do you think he was telling him?
I don't know, because there's only so much he can do to convince him to get the ball down in the zone. Unless they were discussing defensive setups.
Get us a grounder. I mean, what is 4th inning, and leadoff hitter's been on every inning.
Every inning.
At some point, they're going to get a hit and drive in a run.
1 ball and 1 strike to Drury. Well, back in the 1st inning, they got the 6-3 double play after the leadoff batter got on. You see this curve. In the 2nd, they got the first 2 batters on, and then Nola was able to get the next 3. And then Corbin walked to begin the 3rd, and then nothing happened afterward.
Tell you what, I think if Cameron Rupp and Aaron Nola, I could keep featuring that breaking ball to Drury. Got a nice little pull off going with it, trying to pull that ball. Another nice night, though, huh?
Turned out to be beautiful. A little cloudy early on. Over to third base, knocked down by Franco, and he throws across the diamond. Tommy Joseph hangs on. He had a chance to get the runner at third base, but he decided to throw it across the diamond and get the out at first. Why do you think he didn't go to third there, John?
I don't know if he didn't think he could get there in time.
Maybe that was it.
And he knew he had the shore out, but I mean, it looks like he has plenty of time to get. That would have been close. You know, he got the shore out. The bottom of the lineup's up. Tell you what, lucky Lamb was sliding there. That could have hit Lamb, and you're looking at a possibility of a huge inning.
Mm-hmm. Well, now Descalso, who flied out to left his first time up. The first pitch. Phillies play the infield back.
Hey, I think the way Mathis hits, and then of course Corbin, the pitcher coming up next, I think I'd be very, very careful with Descalso. I don't know if I'd let him, even put a ball in play. If he puts a grounder in play anywhere besides back to Nola or to Franco, it's a run.
Curveball, bouncer over to first, and Tommy Joseph will take it to the bag. A run does score, and it's 1-0 Arizona. Well, that's just what you're talking about.
Okay. Pete has confidence we're going to score some runs, I guess, tonight.
Well, now Mathis, who bounced one in front of the plate and hit him.
But to be consistent. With second and third, it is tougher to bring the infield in, because if he hits a routine grounder, now it's 2 runs instead of 1, or a hard hit grounder at someone. If they're playing in, it could get past him, and it's 2 runs. Need a strikeout here, though.
Oh, 2.
I'd stay out there. 2 outs, stay out there and get him out and let the pitcher lead off next inning. Wow. 0 for 53 with 2 strikes.
Yeah, he is defensive minded. And a base hit it to center field. And it's now 2-0 Diamondbacks. Well, I guess every bad string has to eventually come to an end. An RBI single for Mathis, 6 RBIs this year.
Who's in charge of putting that graphic up?
I thought you did it.
You know, 0-2. I mean, it's not a bad pitch. It's down and away, but I don't know what to say. I'm confused.
Well, now Corbin, who walked his first time up for the second time.
We are going to score today, right?
I would think so.
I think so.
And Corbin is 0-5 on the road with an ERA of 9.
Mathis was 0
for his last 53.
0 for 53.
One ball, 1 strike to Patrick Corbin. And 1-2. Put him away right here with the count 1-2.
Keep that pitch count down.
And he got him. Threw him a breaking ball that froze him. 3 strikeouts for Nola, but the Diamondbacks give Patrick Corbin a 2-run lead. They get a couple RBIs here in the 4th. We'll move to the bottom of the 4th. and by Jefferson Health. Call 800-JEFF now or visit jeffersonhealth.org. Bottom of the fourth inning, Patrick Corbin has a 2-run lead to work with. He hasn't allowed a base hit just yet. He's faced 9. He's retired all 9. Again, he came in with an ERA of 9 on the road, an 0-5 record. He's part of a rotation, though, that has the best earned run average in all of baseball. Starting rotation at 3.49. They're second in strikeouts with 406. Now, he's a big reason why, Zach Greinke. He's having a staring competition with somebody, but he's also pitched very well this year.
Yeah, you knew last year was just, you know, the new contract, the big contract, and I don't care how long you've been around. At some point, you have to think, I have to prove that I'm worth it. But his stuff is way too good. He's too athletic. He repeats his motion, can swing the bat. I mean, he's one of the few pitchers I can honestly say he's a baseball player, because he can really, great fielder, great hitter, runs the base as well.
We will not see him this weekend, but
that's fine.
We'll probably see him in that 4-game series out in Arizona.
Oh boy. He's drinking some green stuff.
Yes,
what?
he is. He's trying to stay
healthy.
healthy.
Kale shake. Yeah, I had one of those. Never.
0-2 is outside, 1-2. Murph, did you get a look at what Zach Greinke was drinking? Is it something along the lines of the chia seed drink that you had the other day?
I think it's exactly that, and I'm glad to see that he's opened it so it doesn't explode like mine did in our office. The chia seeds embedded into our ceiling tiles now.
It was really an amazing science experiment. Murph discarded the chia smoothie, and then what was it, about 6 hours later?
About 6 hours later, apparently it exploded. Maybe someone will tell us why that happened.
It's the acid in there.
Maybe someone will tell us why that happened.
2-2 is bounced foul.
Murph, you're trying way too hard, really.
With the acid?
No, with the chia whatever.
I'm gonna get you on there, Johnny.
No, because
I'd love to see that.
No, I'm miserable enough if I don't, like, I've missed one meal. You've been miserable since you started this.
That's not true.
Chia thing.
I'm as happy as can be.
Oh, please.
Outside, 3-2.
I sit next to you every day.
I'm like a ray of sunshine.
Yeah, you are. I burn easily.
How about that shirt I tried on today? Look.
Which one?
I got the wrong one.
Big hit to right center field. That's the first hit for the Phils, and it's going to the scoreboard. And Odubel is on his way to second, stuttering around the bag, heading to third. The throw is not in time, as Lamb had to back up and then bumped into Chris Guccione. It ends in 0 for 15 for Odubel. It's his first triple of the year.
Now, the pitch before, he laid off a breaking ball with 2 strikes, and there he got one that he could handle. And when that ball hit, as soon as you saw it get past Peralta out there and kick back towards center field, you knew Odubel had a shot at 3. And, you know, of course, leading off the inning, you never want to make the first out at third, but a great risk and got rewarded for it, did Odubel.
And a bouncer to second will get the run home, as Howie Kendrick will get an RBI. It's a 2-1 ball game. Nice reaction to a little fundamental baseball for the Phils. Well, for Odubel, his first triple since September of last year. It's his 10th career triple.
I thought he'd have more than that.
Yeah, you would think. You would think he would have more than one this year. As Altair takes a fastball, and it's 0-1. It's nice to see them get that run back after the Diamondbacks scored the 2.
You remember yesterday with Chris Sale pitching, how they pitched Aaron Altair? breaking balls, change-ups to get ahead. You know, that's where, you know, you would think that if the Diamondbacks were scouting yesterday's game to see how to pitch out there, you think that's the way Corbin would approach it, but it's been fastballs.
Yeah, it is surprising, and you know, just watching from team to team how different hitters are pitched differently. 1-2 pitch coming to Altair. Swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts for Corbin. RBI Baseball 2017 returns with fast-paced pick-up-and-play MLB action, packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and much more. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile devices. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Tommy Joseph hit one sharply to third his last time up. And he hits this one out toward right field. Backing up is Peralta. He got turned around. It's off the scoreboard, and Tommy's going to have to drop anchor with a long single. So Tommy extends his hitting streak to 12.
Fastball center of the plate. Tommy inside outs that one. Really nice, but hit it too hard. Peralta, though, made a great play. Played the carom perfect. I think if Tommy tries to go on that one, he's thrown out.
Well, that 12-game hitting streak now for Joseph is tied for the second longest current streak in Major League Baseball. Didi Gregorius has a 17-game streak for the Yankees. And Justin Turner currently has a 12-game streak for the Dodgers. Now the Dodgers are in Cincinnati as we speak in the 4th inning.
Do you think the Mets are going to have enough guys to finish the season? Like, how does that work if you get like so many guys hurt? How do you?
You got to rush some guys to the ball.
No, but I mean you have to rush them. But like, they have so many guys hurt. Are they going to be over their 40-man on the 40-man roster limit? Like if you're hurt, though, you can.
They'll have to extend it to 60, and then they can add somebody to the 40-man roster. Because I would think somebody like Matt Harvey is going to be extended to the 60-day DL. Because he's already been on for a little bit. No balls, 2 strikes to Maikel Franco. Swing and a miss. That was the 7th 0-2 count for Corbin, and he picks up his 4th strikeout of the night. Phillies, though, get a run back on a ground out by Howie Kendrick. That'll take us to the 5th. tomorrow will take on the Diamondbacks in Game 2 of this 3-game series. And all children 14 and under will receive the W.B. Mason collectible truck. Go to Phillies.com for more information and to purchase your tickets. 4:05 tomorrow, then Sunday afternoon. It was a 1:35 first pitch. Chevrolet Father's Appreciation Day. It's weekends with Schmidt beginning tomorrow. Although your weekend with Michael began yesterday, right?
Yeah, we did a little
Q&A.
Q&A in the executive dining room here for some season ticket holders.
And how did that go?
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they ask questions that are hard to answer. Schmitty, let's put it this way. If it's me and Schmitty sitting in a chair and people want to ask a question about baseball, who do you think they're going to ask?
Scott Palmer.
Well, no.
Scott was hosting it, though, right?
Scott was hosting it, but like they opened it up to questions to the season ticket holders, and I wanted to hear what Schmitty had to say.
1 strike to Blanco. He takes low. It's one of the great things that the Phillies do for the season ticket holders. They, from time to time, will select randomly some season ticket holders to come in, have dinner here, talk about the ball club, get a chance to meet, John or Schmitty or one of us.
L.A.
Larry Anderson, depending on the night, that's usually okay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the one night he was a no-show. I had to go down there and do it.
Yep, that's the teammate you are.
Yeah.
2-2 to Gregor Blanco.
He was nowhere to be seen. Said he was working. Real.
He was working some crowd somewhere.
He was doing something. It had nothing to do with work. Let's try to keep that leadoff hitter on. Off base, I mean.
Yeah, they've got a leadoff batter aboard all 4 innings so far, including Blanco in the first. Two pitch coming. And a curveball on the outside corner. 4 strikeouts for Nola. And the 5th inning is the charm inning. Our pitch gas presented by GMC.
Did that come back and get the
It's close.
borderline?
Well, now you have both dugouts that are chirping at Carlos Torres. David Peralta's 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. Once into a double play. 0-1 to 1-0. Excuse me.
Cameron said something too.
Boy, Cam's really working him.
Yeah.
We do not see this happen that often. Well, you don't see it happen that often anyway. Any catcher. But that looked like a strike. And a liner to right field, a base hit. And Peralta with a 1-out single. Here's the pitch that Cam thought was a strike.
Same pitch as the.
Yeah.
That's the right there. That's usually the sign of you're not going to be around here long. You turn around and actually stare at the umpire and say something. Back turn, looking out at your pitcher and you're talking to him. That's usually will keep you in the game. And once you turn, it's usually a see you later. But it has been a kind of a drifting strike zone.
Well, the Phillies dugout got on him in the first inning.
Never a good sign.
Diamondbacks got on him in the 3rd and now here in the 5th.
A little worse sign.
Goldschmidt is 0 for 2. He has struck out and he's grounded out to shortstop.
Don't mind seeing another ground ball to short.
Throw the changeup 0-2. Got him. 92 miles an hour. 5 strikeouts for Aaron Nola. And that'll bring Jake Lamb to the plate. Well, the Phillies are hoping, Murph, that they're getting a little closer to getting one of their starting pitchers back.
Yeah, a couple of guys working their way back from injuries. One of those guys is Vince Velasquez, and yeah, he is making progress. That is what we were told today. In fact, he threw today on flat ground 90 feet. They expect, as long as he doesn't have any issues tomorrow, which they do not expect he will, 120 feet on Sunday, and then a bullpen on Thursday, which will be the first real step towards getting back out on the mound. They'll throw a bullpen on Thursday. As long as that goes well, they'll be able to kind of set that timetable for him to work his way back to the starting rotation. It certainly would be good news. He's, of course, battling that strained elbow that he got right at the end of May that ended him up on the disabled list. So slowly working back, but as Pete Mackanin said, they have been pleased with his progress so far, and he's right on schedule. So that's good news for Vince.
Yeah, Pete talked a little bit about the starters today. Not only Velasquez, talked about Pavetta's outing last night because Pavetta's been filling in. He and Lively have both been filling in for guys like Vince Velasquez. And Pete mentioned how Lively's appearance the other night against the Red Sox and during the first few starts he's been in the big leagues should be a great indication for all of the young pitchers on how they should attack the strike zone with their fastball.
Pavetta was a perfect example of that yesterday.
And I think Vince is that way too with his fastball, that he has to attack the strike zone with that fastball.
You know, Tom, I sat down with Ben Lively today for an extended interview for the Phillies clubhouse show, and we talked about that very subject, about the fact that from the first time he stepped up on the mound against the Giants, he looked like he was a guy without any fear. And I talked to him about that, and he said that's just always the way he's pitched. And I said, yeah, but not everybody brings that to the big leagues. And he said, well, I don't know any other way to pitch. And he said, I've always been able to be successful that way. And I said, do you think some other guys can learn from you in that mentality? And he said, we talk about that all the time. As the young staff that we are, he said, we actually sit and talk about how to approach these guys, how to attack. Now, it obviously comes very easy to Ben Lively, maybe a little bit more difficult for some of the other pitchers, but it is something that they're talking about. I thought what Pete was saying today was very interesting.
Yep. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a bouncer to second base. Howie Kendrick to a knee and throws out Jake Lamb. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. 5 strikeouts through 5 for Aaron Nola. It's a 2-1 Diamondbacks lead. For our Citizens Bank minor league report. Citizens Bank, the official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. Well, last night Lehigh Valley lost to Buffalo 4-2. Jorge Alfaro, though, had a home run and 2 RBIs. He's now hitting 5 straight. The red-hot Scott Kingery, well, he continues to be red-hot. Reading defeated Bowie 8-7. Kingery was 3 for 7 with a couple of doubles. Clearwater defeated Lakeland, and Lakewood defeated Delmarva. Rhys Hoskins has hit his 15th home run tonight for Lehigh Valley.
Yes, he has.
As they lead Syracuse 5-2. Hoskins' 15 home runs leads the International League. He also leads them in voting for the All-Star game. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ty Kelly. A bouncer up the third baseline, foul. Fans, is your weekend packed with plans? Well, no problem. Catch the game on your phone or tablet. Live stream every CSN game on the go with the NBC Sports app and CSNPhilly.com. Well, you didn't get your cheesesteak, but maybe you can get yourself some crab fries.
It might be the first time you hear me say this, but I'm full.
Really?
Yeah. Got meatloaf in the dining room, mashed potatoes.
Comfort food.
Yeah. I love meatloaf. Our leadoff hitter didn't get on.
Nope. Ty Kelly is the 5th strikeout victim of the night. So Corbin has struck out 5. Nola has struck out 5. And now Cameron Rupp. Cam is mired in a tremendous slump. 4 for his last 44. His last extra base hit came on the 19th of May. See, he's got the bat on the shoulder.
Yeah,
he's trying so many things.
Out. You know, I was watching him in the on-deck circle with his approach, and it looked like in his setup in the on-deck circle to try to time Corbin, he had his, you know, a more of an open stance, and then, you know, the bat's flatter, but he has the closed stance like he has been all year.
Would you change your stance a million times if you were struggling?
Oh gosh, yeah. I would change during the middle of the game.
What was the one thing that you tried to get with a change? Is it relaxation? Is it a different look?
Just something different to take your mind off how absolutely terrible you were doing.
2-2. And sometimes it works. You know, you read that story about Tyler Flowers of the Braves, how he incorporated a leg kick last year in the 7th inning of a game, and he stuck with it, and now he's hitting well over 300 this year. Out toward right field. That's pretty well hit. Peralta's going back. It is gone! Home run for Cameron Rupp the opposite way. And we're tied up at 2. Feel good on so many levels.
And someone's going to get a broken arm. How excited that big man is after hitting that home run. But you know, his first at bat, T-Mac, he hit that ball to right field, and you thought, okay, that's better than it has been. But that one there, he let it get deep. I mean, almost jammed him. But he's so strong. How he pulled those hands in and so powerful that he can hit the ball out that way without having to take a big swing.
No, Andrew Knapp liked it, showing the support. Torey Lovello is wondering if that ball was interfered with or whether it went out or not, because it bounced back onto the playing field. I mean, they can review it. This would be a crew chief review. It's not a huge deal. It didn't look like it touched anybody. There was a young fan who tried to get it, but it was out of his reach, and then it's behind the fence there, hits a seat, and then caroms back onto the field. That lady did a nice job maneuvering away from that baseball.
I don't think the kid in the blue shirt even saw it.
Well, they are not going to review it. It was pretty clear, but that's what replay's there for, or was there originally. And Bob Manilescu of Wilmington, Delaware, has just won $200.
Atta baby.
Thanks to the McDonald's home run jackpot. Galvis takes a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, there's some bruised hands in that Phillies dugout. How excited Cameron was. Them high fives turn into some painful stuff.
Freddie Galvis the opposite way. Peralta a few steps from the track. Reels it in. 2 outs. Well, let's hope that's the start of something for Cam. Here we go. Watch out. Bang, bang, bang. Blanco.
Pretty subdued.
Yeah, he took a little off it.
Might have been tired from running around the bases. That can fatigue you. You haven't done it in a while.
I was going to say he hasn't done it in a long time. 5-19, May 19th, the last time he homered. Last extra base hit.
But I tell you, it's nice when you change something, the bat flat, and it works. And Matt Stairs is sitting down there because you're a hitting coach, or you work with kids who hit, and you make a change. And if it's a struggle, if they're still struggling with the change, you feel terrible.
Ground ball to second base. But the Phillies tie it up thanks to Cameron Rupp's opposite field home run. Against Patrick Corbin, we've completed 5 innings, and with that home run, we are tied up at 2 as we move to the top of the 6th. Coming off the best start of his rookie campaign, Nick Pivetta made his major league debut on the last day of April and battled through 5 starts before capturing his first major league win. He looked nothing like a rookie against Boston. The 24-year-old was dominant for 7 innings, striking out a season-best 9 Red Sox, and didn't allow a run in 107 quality pitches. Nick helped the Phils earn the win, their first shutout of the season. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, Nick Pivetta was special last night, and as he talked about with Murph at the end of the game, his defense was special behind him. It was nice to hear him acknowledge them right off the bat. It was a well-thought-out interview by Nick Pivetta. He was pretty smooth. 9 strikeouts over 7 innings. Didn't get the win, but as he mentioned, that's not the big deal. The big deal is that the team got the win by the time the night was over with.
Yeah, we mentioned it. Daniel Navas throw to home to get Leon out, and then that play by Howie though, that was huge. I mean, if that's the thing, when you play defense, when you're throwing strikes, your defense is more apt to make better plays for you. And he was throwing strikes, and then when Howie made that play, that hit, you saw it. His velocity went up after that.
Well, Pete talked about Howie making that play today, and he basically said, listen, he's getting more reps there. He said, so I know he made 3 errors the first couple of days, but there is a muscle memory thing that you got to get rolling. And he certainly has started to pick it up defensively. Well, here we go last night. I mean, this was the play of the night.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, full extension. Chris Sale wasn't like he was jogging down the line either. Just a great play, great adrenaline boost to this team that had been struggling, coming in with an 8-game losing streak.
Well, now as we move to the top of the 6th inning, it'll be Chris Owings leading it off. Owings 1 for 2 tonight. Inside, 2-0. Fly ball left center field. Well, I wonder how tough it is to see it at this point. Odubel had it the whole way.
Not for Odubel.
Brandon Drury's coming up. Time for the timeless moment. Here's Greg Murphy.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Presented by Coors Banquet. I'll take you back to a simpler time. The date was June 16th, 2011. Cliff Lee pitched a two-hitter for the Phillies' 7th consecutive win at that point. It was a 3-0 win over the Marlins. The Phillies had the best record in the majors at that point, 44-26. Yeah. Lee also helped his own cause. He had 2 hits. He also had an RBI in that game, and he improved his record to 7-5 that night. Ryan Howard also homered in that game, number 15 for him at that point of the season. So, yeah, 44 wins.
Boy, those were the days, Murph, huh? And hopefully we'll get back there real soon where they can have the best record in baseball instead of the Astros, the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers, the Rockies, those teams having the best records in baseball, the Yankees.
We have the best record in baseball if we started yesterday.
That is very optimistic of you.
John, that's why you are a ray of sunshine.
You get off those chia seeds, you can be just like me.
One pitches inside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Serious, he's been grumpy. I mean, it's you know when I walk through the door that I'm going to be miserable.
I don't think so, John. You haven't really been miserable.
You know, Murph's always that smiling, happy, good to see you, lovable Murph, and boy, those whatever he's doing, man, he needs to go back to something else.
He needs a piece of candy or something.
A piece of cake probably would be just what Murph needed.
1-2 pitch. And a liner to left field. Ty Kelly on the run. He won't get there. He'll play it on a hop, and Drury will hold up at first base. Good play by Ty Kelly to get it in. And here is Descalso. I'll talk about best records since the 15th of May. The Diamondbacks are 20-8. Diamondbacks are 20-8 since the 15th of May. Their last 30 overall, they're 20-10. I mean, that West turned out to be a tough division.
20-8, and they picked up a game?
Yeah.
That's.
The Rockies and the Dodgers both have been playing well. Check swing, slow hopper out toward the mound. They better hurry, and just in time to get Descalso. Boy, he was moving up the line.
That ball had some spin on it. You saw how it when it hit the grass, it kind of spun backwards away from Aaron Nola. It made Aaron take an extra half a step to get it. And I mean, watch this ball. I mean, you hit it right. It basically hit behind home plate, but watch all the spin. See how that ball hit and just died? And that half a step that Aaron had to move in to try to get that ball. Watch this right here. Watch how he's charging. He thinks it's going to take a bounce right to him, a one hop, or the second hop was going to bounce to him, but then it hit and just basically like it looked like Dustin Johnson spinning one back on the green, and that extra half a step that he had to take almost let Descalso get in there.
The replay showed he got it by about a half step. So there are 2 outs and a runner at second. And Jeff Mathis is now the hitter.
Philly killer.
At least tonight he is. That RBI single his last time up. That snapped an 0 for his last 21.
Wow. 0 for 21.
0 for his last 21 before that hit.
Tough league, man.
And he and Chris Iannetta are basically trading off starts for the D-backs. You know, Chris Herman's in there too. As Cameron Rupp goes out to chat a little bit with Nola.
Yeah, that's the thing with catchers too. It's hard to get extra work because of the pounding you take as a catcher. It's tough to get in the cage for 30 minutes to go hit when your body's beat up.
Brandon Drury on second base. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jeff Mathis here in the 6th. Phillies trailed at 2-0. They scored a single run in the 4th and 1 in the 5th to tie it up. And it's in the dirt, 2-2.
I tell you what I've seen though today with Cameron. He seems to be more in charge. You know, you heard him in the 2nd inning getting on Aaron Nola. I believe it, or maybe the 3rd inning when Corbin led off. Got 2-0 and he really got on Nola. And Aaron, and he's been making trips out to the mound. He had a little issue going with the home plate umpire. He just seems like he's more into this game than I've seen him in, so far this year.
Well, and that's a good thing too.
Yes,
to be that
great
confident,
thing.
to be that engaged, because he is a confident guy. Three balls, 2 strikes, runner at second, pitchers on deck. And a strike 3 called on the inside part of the plate. Mathis was hoping it was ball 4. 6 strikeouts for Nola. We'll move to the bottom of the 6th at a 2-2 game. Go places. Buy McDonald's, introducing the new signature crafted recipes at McDonald's. I'm loving it. And buy your local Chevrolet dealers. Well, with John Kruk and Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. Phillies and the Diamondbacks tied at 2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. By the way, John, Larry Shank, the Baron, who this press box is named for, reminded us today that Bob Miller, who is one of 2 living members of the Whiz Kids, from 1950, is celebrating out in Detroit his 91st birthday today. So we want to wish Bob a very happy birthday as Odubel pops one foul. 42-42 in his career. He was 11-6 as a rookie in 1950 with the Whiz Kids. And Barron wrote a story about Bob Miller that you can find online. He wrote it about 4 years ago. And it's a great retrospect about that team and about some of the players like Robin Roberts and Whitey and Kurt Simmons, who still is living, one of the other living members of the Whiz Kids.
Was Andy Semenek on that Whiz Kids team?
I believe he was.
Andy was a great.
He was
great man
and an excellent catching coach too.
Yeah.
Yep. Andy was there until 51. Fellow West Virginian. 2-1 pitch to Odubel, and it's 2-2. So happy birthday to Bob Miller, another connection to the history of the Phils. The 1950 team lost to the Yankees in the World Series.
Have you ever met more of a gentleman than Robin Roberts in this? I don't know if I have.
He was a fantastic individual.
I put him up there with Dale Murphy as far as how good of people they are.
And even up until several months before he passed, he was still engaged about today's players and about the game. As Odubel asked for time.
He met at the vet. My son's first birthday we had at the vet. Kevin Millwood threw the no-hitter.
Oh, against the Giants.
Yeah.
Off the glove of Corbett. He's trying to track it down, but it's snaking all over the grass. And Odubel's aboard to start the 6th inning. It'll be a base hit.
Still working on his swing after he got that base hit.
Well, that is the second hit of the night for Odubel.
I thought that would have been a little easier play for Corbin. He falls off that way. I mean, his glove's right there.
You think it was spinning every which way?
I think he might have hit more of a changeup at him. He thought it was hit harder than it was.
So Odubel's at first, and here is Kendrick, who has an RBI tonight.
But Robert met my son. He met my daughter years later, and every time we would see him, he knew them by name, which is amazing.
Yeah, he was a sharp guy.
Yeah.
One to Howie Kendrick. One ball, one strike.
Still one of the highlights of my life as far as baseball goes. Getting in a car with Robin Roberts and Al Kaline to go to a golf tournament and sitting in the back and just listening to those two talk. Robin was driving, Al Kaline was in the passenger seat, and I didn't know Robin at all. I've never met him, and he goes, "Come on, Philly, get in the car with me."
Oh, that's
and I'm
funny.
like, "Oh man, I was scared to death."
Well,
I'm like, "Don't say anything stupid."
And Al is kind of like Robin.
Yeah.
Even now, we were in Detroit last year, and Al was still there, was still fresh.
Yeah.
Was sharp with everything.
Yeah, every time I went to Detroit, he would make a point to come see me. I was just, I mean, I sat and didn't say a word. And it was like a half-hour drive. And those two talked about the era they played in, barnstorming in the offseason, playing against the Negro League teams. He said, and they swore, both of them, that Josh Gibson would have been the greatest player in the history of baseball.
Wow.
If he would have had an opportunity to play, in the big leagues at, 19, 20 years old. Robin said he's never, ever faced anyone with that kind of raw power that Josh Gibson had.
It's a great history lesson when you do get a chance to talk to some of those guys. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Kendrick. In fact, last year when I met Al Kaline, I hadn't met him before, but I reintroduced myself. I told him that my brother's first glove, maybe he wasn't a Tiger fan, but it just so happened to be an Al Kaline model back when we were kids. And he knew the model, he knew the brand, because I guess it was whichever one he endorsed at the time. Out towards center field. That's pretty well struck. Blanco going back. He's going to get to the spot, make the catch. Odubel's going to try for second. The throw will be offline. That's a good piece of base running right there.
Great base running by Odubel Herrera. He went, when that ball was hit, we thought it had a chance of, I thought it had a chance of going out. It's the sound that it made. But watch Odubel. He goes about halfway. He sees how Blanco turned, knew Blanco had to play on the ball, so he said, let me try to get to second base with only 1 out, and now he's in scoring position for our RBI leader, Aaron Altherr.
Yeah, and the D-backs are reviewing it themselves, and they were deciding whether Corbin would throw over to first to see if Odubel had left early, but they've decided not to do it.
Well, if they're going to throw over, Goldschmidt better move.
Altherr is 0 for 2. And it's 0-1.
Fastball, fastball, fastball. What's that pitch? First pitch, changeup with runner in scoring position. Aaron looking for that fastball way out in front. That's the learning curve of, you know, you get stuck in the middle of the lineup, they're going to pitch you differently than you've ever been pitched in your life.
Yeah, and he's been a fantastic hitter with runners in scoring position, 311. But that's down, as you just saw from that graphic. It's always a game of adjustments.
Yeah, and this is where Corbin can go fastball up, see if he can get a chase, and if not, then next pitch could be something off speed, breaking ball, or changeup.
Evans hit sharply, and it's kicked by Lamb. Odubel goes to third. Everybody will be safe. Probably turned his glove the wrong way on that ball.
Yeah, that ball hooked on him. Kind of got his glove turned around. Couldn't catch it clean. Watch how the glove. Yeah, that ball was hooking on him, and instead of turning it to try to catch backhand, but watch Odubel. You know, a lot of guys, as soon as they see that ball hit to the left side, they start retreating towards second base. Odubel took a step, read it, and got a great jump. And once that ball got past Lamb, no hesitation, getting to third base, put himself in scoring position with less than 2 outs.
Well, it's an E5 for Altherr.
Hey, you say what you want about Odubel Herrera. He's put on a clinic running the bases.
No question.
In this particular inning.
Well, you talked about being engaged. I mean, he is engaged tonight.
It's amazing what a couple hits will do for you.
Tommy Joseph takes high, 1-0.
They gave Altherr a hit, I hope.
And now they give him an error. E5. Sixth error of the year for Lamb. Fly ball, shallow left field. Descalso is an infielder playing the outfield, but that's really shallow. So Odubel cannot score. Time now for our Jeep Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, John, here we go. Who is the Diamondbacks' all-time leader among catchers in games, runs, RBIs, and walks?
I drew a blank because I have no clue.
All right,
He said he was in the Midwest.
He's in the Midwest now. Was part of a world championship last year. Didn't play as much as he wanted to.
David Ross?
No.
Oh. I can't remember his name. Montero?
Yes, Miguel Montero. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack.
Usually, that's deceiving because usually it's about a player who's here.
It is true. It might be a little deceiving.
Who comes up with those?
It's John DeSangro, our ultra intelligent associate producer.
I like John. He might be the only guy I like in that truck.
Oh, and 1 to Franco.
I'm gonna have to butter John up a little bit, see if I can get the answers before he gets a question out. Wow.
Well, this off-speed stuff is giving Franco a little trouble.
Yeah. Well, probably wouldn't give him as much trouble if he took them. Like Tony Gwynn told me when I started doing that, I had about a month of swinging it, breaking ball in the dirt, and he said, "You keep swinging it, you know what? You're going to keep getting you know what." I wouldn't be surprised if he got another you know what.
And he does, and he hits it out toward left field. On the run is Descalso. It's over his head and off the base of the wall. 1 run is in. Here comes Altair flying home. It's going to be a 2-run double, and the Phillies take the lead. It's 4-2.
Well, he got it, but it was a bad one.
'11th double of the year for Maikel Franco.
Well, how huge is that, too? Tommy Joseph couldn't get the job done, a pop-up, but there you see it was a breaking ball. If he'd have bounced it, he probably got a swing and miss, but instead it stayed up enough that Franco could get his bat on it. He drives it off that wall right by the W.B. Mason sign, and Odubel, being a good teammate, he picks up the bat, so Aaron Altair following behind. He doesn't trip on it. Look at Franco. Gotta love that. A guy struggling that bad and come up with a big 2-out hit.
Well, now Ty Kelly, who's 0 for 2, he's popped out and he is struck out. Well, that 2-run base hit, making all Phillies fans happy, including Bob Miller from the Whiz Kids, celebrating his birthday tonight. Hope he's watching in Detroit. It's an hour difference, so 8 o'clock his time. John G., a season ticket holder, celebrating his 60th this weekend. He'll be at the game tomorrow. Ball is hit towards second. Drury throws out Ty Kelly, but the Phillies score 2 runs, both unearned. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, we've completed 6. We'll go to the 7th. 4-2. Phil's on top. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary Phillies were down 2-0 as we went to the bottom of the 4th inning, but they scored single runs in the 4th and 5th. Cameron Rupp hit a solo home run to tie it in the 5th inning, and then scored 2 in the 6th on a double by Maikel Franco against Patrick Corbin. Well, Corbin is now done, and Jeremy Hazelbaker will be the pinch hitter for the D-backs.
He came up with the Cardinals. I mean, he had a lot of home runs early, and I thought, wow, this is going to be a nice addition to that Cardinals lineup. The way they move players in and out of the lineup and put them in different positions.
Well, even look at his pinch hit numbers. He's turned into, in a very short period of time, a pretty reliable pinch hitter.
And that it's one of the most difficult things to do in baseball is be basically primarily a pinch hitter. But if you can do it, teams are going to want you, especially National League teams. They're going to want you.
Well, he had 5 home runs in his first 12 starts last year with the Cardinals. Overall, 23 games. Pat Neshek is starting to warm up in the bullpen here in the 7th inning. Off the end of the bat, charging is Galvis. He has it, throws on the run, not in time. Hazelbaker beats it, although the Phils will probably take a glance at this just to check it out.
Larry Bowa anticipated that. He got a great first step out of his chair to get to the ball.
He really did.
Wow, is he quick.
We're not at the point where it's a crew chief review.
Wow,
it's really close. That's a tight one.
I don't know if you can overturn that, can you?
I don't know if you can. There's just the way that we've seen these plays this year. I mean,
he might be out.
I think he's out.
They look at it. He could call him out.
Well, they've decided that they're not going to review it. See, right there is his heel on the bag as the ball arrives. Well, they are not going to review it.
Wow. Yeah, there's another pinch hit, base hit for Hazelbaker. I wonder if they'll have Blanco bunting here.
He doesn't square it. It's outside, 1-0.
My bad, two runs, let him hit.
One ball, one strike. Well, Noah's allowed the leadoff hitter to get on in 5 of his 7 innings so far. It haunted him back in the 4th inning, but that was it.
And that's amazing. Usually that leadoff hitter gets on that many times, you're going to have 3-4 runs tacked up on the board. But we mentioned it, though, some of their guys aren't great road hitters so far.
Diamondbacks have been picked off 6 times this year, which is tied with the Phillies for the 3rd most. As Hazelbaker just barely got back on that one. St. Louis leads the way. We saw that last week. They had 2 pickoffs. The Phillies did in 1 game. And again, another close one.
Besides Dave, Dave McKay's hair turning gray.
Oh.
He looks like he's 30.
He does look like he's in great shape.
I wonder if he's on those chia seed things.
No doubt about it.
It's the way we look, John.
Oh, look at him. He's almost smiling there. That's not you, Murph. He can't be on him.
That one not as close. I wonder if they're using Nishak for Goldschmidt. Is he warming up as if he's coming into the game? 2 balls, 1 strike. And a curveball drops in. 2-2.
Might be the longest 4-pitch at bat in the history of baseball.
It is taking a little bit of time between Blanco and the throws over to first. Out toward right field. That's well hit, and it's not coming back. We're tied up at 4. A 2-run home run for Gregor Blanco. A curveball that was left up, and Blanco jumped on it for his 2nd home run of the year.
Well, you said it. That's a big neon sign flashing on that one. Hit me hard somewhere. Look at that one. That's a long, long one.
It sure is.
It's up in the concourse. Maybe whoever gets that ball can get us some fries and bring them back here.
Well, it startled somebody on that concourse when it bounced up there. They jumped. All right, so we're tied up again, this time at 4. The Diamondbacks with 22 come from behind wins this year, which is tops in all of Major League Baseball.
And it all started with an infield single. Hustled. Jeremy Hazelbaker with the hustle, beat the throw with Freddie, and one mistake, and now it's tied.
1-2 to Peralta. He thought that pitch was up. I thought it was a good pitch, but it was outside the box.
Well, what Blanco could be yelling at?
I think the pitch.
He just hit one 800 feet.
Well, I think he feels like it gives him some authority to then question the umpire.
Do you ever feel like the umpire's probably saying, you know, if everyone's yelling at me, am I doing that poorly? Like, am I having a bad day?
I would think it's like anything else, that there is a string of doubt that creeps in. I always wonder about that with you know, a guy like C.B. Buckner, who always hears it from guys from both teams. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a change up, 3-2. Goldschmidt is on deck. Can't imagine that Nola will face him.
Well, Nolan's had his number. 2 strikeouts, a grounder to short.
Well, that is true. Back toward the middle, and a base hit into center field. Well, 3 straight hits now for the Diamondbacks. Peralta has 2 hits tonight. Here comes Pete Mackanin. Now that's going to be it for Aaron Nola. So Pat Neshek's going to come on to face Paul Goldschmidt. And Nola will leave with the base runner at first is his responsibility. So a pitching change here at Citizens Bank Park. We're tied up at 4, nobody out. Here comes Pat Neshek into the game. The Diamondbacks have already scored a couple runs, and Aaron Nola has been lifted from this ball game, and Pat Neshek is going to take over. Neshek has an earned run average of 0.72. He has been so impressive. The only runs he's allowed came on the 2-run home run by Michael Taylor earlier this season against the Washington Nationals, and his success, Murph, has caused happiness from his manager, Pete Mackanin.
Yeah, and why not? You know, very high praise from Pete Mackanin today when asked about Pat Neshek, and he said, well, the question he was asked was, who do you think is the all-star representative for the team? And, you know, there's a couple of answers to that, but Pete, without a beat, said, I think it's Pat Neshek. He's been absolutely terrific. He said, what I like so much about watching Pat pitch is he pitches with a ton of emotion and energy. We saw that last night when he came into the game, and that's just the way he is. He's deceptive. He's got that funky delivery, and for whatever reason, it works, and it's been working for Pat Neshek. And, you know, he pitched in the World Baseball Classic, and he pitched with a lot of emotion there. He's brought that to the Phillies, and he's really impressed his manager.
Yeah, I think he's impressed everybody with his ability to, ooh, Murph, look out.
Quick first step.
You know, if that bar was not there, I think you would have flagged that down.
I was busy talking to you guys, or I would have tried.
Tell you what,
very limber.
Tell you what, the chia seeds maybe help with the reflexes there, huh?
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Anytime.
You see the smile I got working?
Trying to make you happy, Murph, because I know how miserable you are.
You always do.
Line drive, base hit by Goldschmidt. And Peralta's going to go to third base. The throw goes to second. It's good base running by Peralta with the play right in front of him. And now first and third with nobody out, and Jake Lamb is coming up. Well, I would think they're going to set up to try to turn 2.
Yeah.
Even with the runner at third, they'll take the 2 outs and allow the run. Lamb, as you would imagine, has been good with runners at third and less than 2 outs. And that's what a lot of good hitters do, is they they'll go after that first pitch in an RBI situation.
Yeah, and it was a good pitch to hit. You know, Tommy Joseph's normally pretty good at that, letting the ball get deep, hitting the ball the other way. Last inning he got that one, he popped up, but Franco picked him up. But yeah, what's a pitcher when you're in a situation like this with Neshek is in first and third, no outs, the go-ahead runs on third. What the last thing you want to do is walk someone to load the bases up with no outs. And you know, Lamb's an RBI guy. He knows he's going to get something to hit.
1-2.
Never even hesitated, did he?
He did not. I think once he saw the ball was hooking away from Ty Kelly. You know, Kelly is really an infielder playing the outfield.
Well, even the base hit up the middle, though, he made a really busted it out of the box, made a real aggressive turn. Maybe he wants to try to get around so he can speak to the home plate umpire one more time. Ouch.
Off the hands. That'll rattle the knuckles a little bit. Nice grab by the gentleman off the carom. Off 1-2. I get that.
See, that's why you bring a glove. The only guy that brought a glove in that section, he makes the catch.
Got to stay hydrated when you do stuff like that. Two balls, two strikes. Well, that's a wicked movement inside.
Oh, man. I don't see many swings like that from a right-handed pitcher thrown to a left-handed hitter.
Particularly a guy that's leading the league in RBIs. Liner out towards center field. Odubel's there. He'll make the catch. Tagging from third is Peralta. The throw to the plate is cut off. And a run scores. And it's now 5-4 Arizona. Tommy Joseph cut it off. Goldschmidt was halfway between first and second, but nobody was covering first, so he was able to get back.
Great base running by Goldschmidt. But Tommy lets that ball go through. He's on second base. Another RBI for Lamb.
Well, he closed the book on Aaron Nola. 9 hits, 5 runs. All earned. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Kind of a deceptive line. He allowed a lot of base runners, but he didn't pitch all that bad.
No. He worked himself out of some jams. He made some big pitches.
Goldschmidt goes, and now they've got him caught. And he is tagged out by Tommy Joseph. He was trying to time Neshek. It goes down as a caught stealing. We mentioned all the pickoffs that they've had this year, but that's actually a caught stealing because he ventured towards second. So 1-4-3 on the caught stealing.
And that's just all timing. He thought he would time Neshek, how quick he goes to home, and this time was one of those times where Neshek held the ball. You take a chance. You know, normally Neshek, as soon as he gets set and He stops, he goes home, and he did it with every pitch to Lamb, and now with this, he held it a little longer and caught Goldschmidt trying to cheat on him and grab an extra 90 feet. Neshek would make this energy drink I'm drinking nervous.
I don't know if he would need the energy
oh
drink.
no, he wouldn't.
Fly ball to right field. Altair is there. All right, so the Phils watch the Diamondbacks score 3 here in the 7th, and now as we stretch, they got to come back and get some runs of their own. Inning for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, Gregor Blanco got a hanging breaking ball from Aaron Nola and hit that 2-run homer to tie it up, and then the RBI leader in the National League, Jake Lamb, with that sacrifice fly to center field to score Peralta with the go-ahead run. And Phillies got work to do, but those are our turning points of the game, brought to you by Toyota.
Yeah, the hope is the Phillies have some turning points of their own as they go to work here in the bottom of the 7th inning against this Diamondbacks bullpen, which has been very good this year. 5th best in all of baseball. They've allowed 1 earned run in the last 12 innings of work, and it begins with Andrew Chafin, the lefty. Chafin is 1-0 with a 1.99 earned run average. Cameron Rupp homered his last time up. That one was just a bit outside.
Just a tad.
Two balls and no strikes.
Zone him in right here, Cameron. Look for that perfect pitch. If it's not where you want it, let it go.
What about now? Green light? No?
Make him throw one.
And ball 4. He walks him on 4 pitches. Sunday, July 9th, when the Phillies take on the Padres. That's a 1:35 first pitch. And it's the Hers Kids Retro Pullover. Free to children 14 and under. Go to Phillies.com for more information and to purchase your tickets.
My son could fit into one of them.
Yeah, I think he can.
15?
Yeah, well, last year they had some larger sizes.
Okay, good. Glad to get him one.
Galvis is 0 for 2. Shows bunt. He's got Blanco on deck as a pinch hitter. Phillies will go to the bullpen. Ishak is essentially a one-inning guy, so they go to the bullpen. And now Mike Butcher's going to run out because that's 5 in a row out of the strike zone for Chafin.
Yeah, you know, whether you're having Freddie bunt or not here, I still think I would take one. Make him throw at least one strike before you commit to doing anything.
Diamondbacks are 13-6 in one-run ball games. Phillies have had 25 games decided by one run. 25.
Wow.
They have not had the same kind of success as the Diamondbacks have.
Really? Huh.
Just figured I'd throw that out there.
That's a nugget we needed to hear.
1-0 to Galvis. And he bunts up the first base line. Goldschmidt is able to throw him out. And Freddie grabbed the back of his left leg as he was running up the first base line. 3-4 on the putout. The sacrifice is successful.
Perfect bunt by Freddie. I mean, you couldn't toss it out there any better. And it looked like with Drury coming into the line, it looked like Freddie stutter stepped, and I hope he didn't pull anything too badly.
He had that earlier this season where he had a little bit of the cramping in the hamstring, something like that, and he was able to play through it. Blanco is 2 for 14 as a pinch hitter this year.
Hey, their Blanco hit a home run, 2-run homer. Why can't ours? We've seen him hit one from this side of the plate this year.
It's the night of the Whites. Well, now, if you think about it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
He's got 7 balls, 1 strike. The only strike he threw was the bunt by Freddie Galvis.
And he just bounced 2 breaking ball. You know he's not pitching around.
No.
Andres to get the Odubel has 2 hits today.
Three balls and no strikes.
No, he's not swinging.
I was going to hold up the stop sign for him.
First fastball he's thrown for a strike. It's his 3rd hitter. Got the stash going though, huh?
Yes, he does.
Should put Andrew Knapp up to hit. Battle the stashes.
Outside ball 4. That'll put runners on first and second. Now Archie Bradley's been very good for the Diamondbacks, but I doubt you'd bring him in to face Odubel Herrera. Odubel's looking in the dugout before he heads up to the plate. Look at the
keep the lefty in there.
Of course they are.
Yeah. He was peeking over there for a while.
Yeah. He's prone to do that.
As John mentioned, he has 2 hits tonight against the left-handed starter, Patrick Corbin. Odubel sends one in the air down the right field line, foul and out of play. And it's 0-1. Nice catch.
Interesting approach there. After what, nine balls and one.
It's almost
10 balls and 1 strike. Really,
yeah, it's almost as if he committed that it was going to be a fastball, thinking, all right, he's going to try to groove one, and he couldn't stop the swing. He should have just let it go. All right, well, now he's got a battle.
yes, he does.
And he goes after one in the dirt. Two outs. Howie Kendrick's coming up.
That's it. Threw a fastball to get a called second strike, and you're in protect mode, and Odubel chases that. Another breaking ball in the dirt. Same thing he did in his first at bat against Patrick Corbin, chasing that breaking ball in the dirt.
Well, Chafin's done. Torey Lovello is going to go to the right-hander Archie Bradley to face Howie Kendrick. So pitching change here in Philadelphia. The Phils have the tying run in scoring position, and the hard-throwing right-hander is coming in for the D-backs. From every offseason move the Eagles make to what's next for the Phils. Take your team with you wherever you go. Subscribe now on Apple, Google Play, or csnphilly.com. Bottom of the 7th inning, 2 men down. And Howie Kendrick will face Archie Bradley. Bradley, a 1.21 earned run average. I'm sure the Diamondbacks hated to take him out of the rotation because he was such a huge prospect for them. But man, he has been really good as a reliever. That first pitch came in at 99 miles an hour.
Seemed like it was that hard.
That's where he's topping off. But he's throwing strikes too. 96 on that one. Last 2 years as a starter, his earned run average was up over 5. He's basically gone fastball, curveball in a lot of his outings. Well, they don't allow a lot of inherited runners to score. The bullpen. 78% of the runners that are on when the relievers come in are stranded. That's fairly dominating.
Let's change that. Got a base hit to left center.
It is
Run one
wide
in that
open.
gap. It is wide open if he hits one there. Andres score easy from first.
Breaking ball. Did he go? No. This is Paul Nart. Over to third base goes Cameron Rupp. Got a little delayed steal.
Mathis started taking off like it was strike 3, and Cameron got out there in the middle of nowhere. I guess he, 2 strikes, 2 outs, any swing you're running. I guess he thought maybe how he swung, he took off. What a wild pitch.
Fastball swung on and missed. The Phillies are retired here in the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, 2 men left, and a 99-mile-an-hour fastball to wrap up the inning. Your local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. Top of the 8th inning, and the Phillies have a new pitcher. It'll be Joaquin Benoit, 1-2 with a 4.56 earned run average. And he will face Brandon Drury to start things off. Pitcher spot is due up 4th for the Diamondbacks. A little bit of an altercation between Torey Lovullo and the home plate umpire Carlos Torres after that last inning came to a close.
Yeah, Torrey came out and he said, "I'm not arguing balls and strikes." See right there, he wanted to know. Yeah, I couldn't hear what you said. He wanted to know more about I think about Mathis running off, and
essentially he was arguing balls and strikes.
Basically, yeah. With indirectly.
Well, Benoit will face Drury, who is 1 for 3. And Benoit is not happy that Drury just asked for a new baseball to be put in play. And it's 0-1. A foul tip. We're going to go back out there again.
Hey, 3's a charm, huh? Go back out there again.
Particularly if you have it up a little bit and you're throwing it at 95. That's hit foul up and to the upper deck over our heads. Rupp wanted it in. It sort of went out over the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. Got him. Slowed it up by 10 miles an hour. And 1 away here in the 8th inning. Daniel Descalso's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you, Tom. Time for our unlimited baseball break presented by T-Mobile. And a scary moment in Detroit last night. Tigers DH Victor Martinez left the game in the 7th inning. He had the cold sweats, he was a racing heartbeat, and he was dizzy, so they pulled him off the field. They treated him for dehydration, but when the symptoms didn't get any better, they took him to the hospital. He is still in the hospital today. They said that he is being treated now for an irregular heartbeat, and the Tigers have stuck him on the 10-day disabled list, so very scary moment indeed for him. Better news for the Marlins as they get one of the big bats right in the middle of their lineup back. Justin Bour coming off the DL. He had been dealing with a bruised ankle, but he is back off the DL. How about these numbers? Just since April 30th, batting .368, 13 home runs, 31 RBIs. That includes the stint on the DL. So those numbers in about a month's time. Justin Bour had been red hot when he got hurt. He is back in their starting lineup tonight, guys.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. Thanks for the medical news. You have any science news?
You know what? I do have a little science news, if you'll be so inclined. Nancy Hopkins on Twitter wanted to answer my question about the exploding chia seed shake. Apparently, chia seeds they absorb water at 27 times their size and weight, and when they hit that maximum capacity at 27 times, they explode. And that's what happened to my chia seeds shake.
Man.
So it had nothing to do with the acid, Tom. It was the chia seeds.
I just want you to.
John's back in school again.
I just want you to know, Murph, that goes into your stomach. Just so you know.
It's good for you.
I'm sure it is.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah, Nancy, thank you. 2-1 to Descalso. 2-2.
Heck of a ball game. We're breaking out with chia seeds. You kidding me?
We didn't want you to be hanging and worried about it.
I wouldn't have slept tonight if I didn't know why that exploded. And in the office.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Descalso. Fly ball center field, playable for Odubel Herrera. And now 2 outs. Our 4th annual Star Wars night benefiting Stand Up to Cancer will be Wednesday, June 21st, when the Phillies take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, fans who purchase tickets through the theme night page receive a limited edition Philly Fanatic X-Wing Fighter bobblehead. Go to Phillies.com/theme nights for more information. Jeff Mathis is 1 for 3. Got an RBI single back in the 4th inning. Good location tonight from Joaquin Benoit. Ball, 2 strikes to Mathis.
Archie Bradley in the on-deck circle.
And nobody else warming up in the bullpen.
That's what was interesting. You didn't know if there'd be a double switch in there, and just in case, you got a couple guys on this inning, and with 1 out, you're going to let the pitcher hit. And you have a chance to score more. Maybe he feels like 1's enough with Bradley in the 8th and Rodney in the 9th.
Yeah, Fernando Rodney's been very good for the Diamondbacks as their closer. 2-2. There's Fernando. Humberto Quintero is to the left, former Phil. He is the bullpen catcher for the Diamondbacks. Every time a Phillies pitcher retires, the opposition 1-2-3 Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. All right, so Benoit has the count full 3-2. Mathis just fouled off the last 3-2 pitch. Another foul ball. Archie Bradley's working on a swing in the on-deck circle.
He's timing him up.
He's doing the what Andres Blanco normally does, trying to keep his bat through the zone.
You can tell he doesn't get a lot of it. Bats and batting gloves are about a.
I was just thinking the same thing.
They look like Freddie's spikes. Kind of stand out.
Out toward right center field. On the run is Altair and Odubel, and Mathis is aboard with his 2nd hit. Well, he's now 2 for 4 with an RBI.
It's got to get his average over 2 bills, doesn't it?
Well, he came in at 150. The 1 hit and 3 at bats moved it to 155.
So probably not.
I think he's got too many ABs. 163. So Archie Bradley, the batter. 0 for 2 this year. A bouncer to shortstop, and Galvis throws out Bradley. The inning is over. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left. Middle of the 8th. The Phils still down by 1. Great offer. Toyota Mike Schmidt bobble figurine Saturday, July 8th. And Toyota Pete Rose bobble figurine on Friday, August 11th. That's for all fans. Now we got a special offer for $19.80 a ticket per game in honor of the 1980 World Series champions. You can get both of those bobbleheads. Visit Phillies.com/Toyota bundle for more information and to order your tickets. Well, as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, Archie Bradley will continue out on the mound. And he will face Aaron Altair, Tommy Joseph, and Michael Franco. Now the Diamondbacks have adjusted their defense somewhat. Peralta's in right field. Ray Fuentes is now in center field. And moving from center field to left field is Gregor Blanco. So Peralta remains in right, Fuentes is in center, and Blanco is in left. And Altair takes strike one. It's 0-1.
Always better dial it up because Archie's coming with the heat.
Yes, he is.
Except for that one. It looked like he really slowed up on that breaking ball. I wonder if you could see that as a hitter.
He's not the last, and he's not the only starting pitcher that struggled as a starter and then evolved into a fairly dominant relief pitcher. Off the hand.
Spin on it. Side spin that's going to make that ball bounce to the right once it hits the ground. Watch his ball hit to the right. Watch how this first gets in on Aaron Altair. You see how he brought his hands in and spun that ball. That ball spun. Look at that bounce back to the right of Paul Goldschmidt. Great play. Stick with it. Bradley over there covering and made that look pretty easy for a tough play.
Tommy Joseph bends back. Tommy tonight is 1 for 3. He singled in the 4th inning. And that ended an 0 for 23 to begin his time against his hometown team. He hits that one out toward left center field. And Fuentes covering ground, tracks it down. Got that toward the end of the bat. And there are 2 outs. And Michael Franco is coming up. I guess Ramos, if the Phils are still trailing, and if they happen to tie it or take the lead, they'll go to Neris.
Throwing 99 miles an hour in the first pitch, you're sitting dead red, and he throws you that hook.
And then comes back with 96 up. And Franco goes around. Man, he's got a pace going to himself too, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's getting paid by the hour. Trying to get out of here quick.
No balls, 2 strikes to Franco. Now 1-2.
Swung at that one, he'd have been on base.
Man. And it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, a curveball and a called strike 3. Second strikeout for Bradley. He's faced 4. He's retired all 4. So now we'll go to the 9th inning. It's still a 1-run game. The Diamondbacks on top 5-4. A defensive play of the game.
Yeah, Freddie Galvis right there, first inning. What a play after leadoff hitter gets on, Blanco, and that's one of those. If you make that play, it's a great play. If you don't, it could be a big inning. But the sure-handed Freddie Galvis makes the play for our Hyundai defensive play of the game. Brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Yeah, Freddie has an error tonight, which is a shocker because he keeps going through these spurts where he goes 25, 30 games without an error. He had that one weekend where he had 3 errors, which was an anomaly. But he has been very good defensively this year and last year as well. Here's Ramos. Ramos will pitch the top of the 9th inning, trying to keep this at a 1-run game. And he's going to have to do it against the top of the order. And it's Gregor Blanco. On the outside corner, 0-1. Phillies 9th inning, half of the 9th, they'll have Kelly, Rupp, and Galvis. But now they've got to make sure it's a 1-run game. More than any other game this year, everybody seems to be upset with the home plate umpire.
Yeah, he's not made many friends in either dugout.
Got him. A breaking ball, one away.
That was the same breaking ball Aaron Nola threw that he hit out into the concourse. Hanger by Ramos.
Boy, it really was a hanger.
Really, I mean, pretty good pitch to hit, but I guess just the change of speeds got him.
Well, now Peralta, who has 2 hits. 0-1. There's Rodney. One ball, 2 strikes. Peralta started his professional career as a pitcher in the Cardinals organization. He had 2 different shoulder injuries and other injuries that caused him to give that up. Turned himself into a position player in independent baseball. That one's hit out toward right center field. It's hit well. Altair on the run. He's not going to get there. It takes a bounce off the top of the scoreboard, and Peralta's thinking 3. He's on his way. Kendrick's throw will not arrive, and it is a 1-out triple. Second triple of the year for Peralta. That's a big insurance run over at third.
Really big, and that looked like another breaking ball from Ramos that just stayed up in the strike zone, and Peralta could get to it. And the first swing he took, it looked like he wrenched his back a little bit, Peralta, and then the second one, he swung and a bat fell out of his hand. Throw him a breaking ball, let him hit it to the fence, and we'll get 3 out of it.
Well, now the Phillies will play the infield in with a runner at third base and 1 man down. And Goldschmidt takes a breaking ball. Threw him the same pitch, and he fouls it away. Peralta with his 9th 3-hit game of the year. Standing at third base. Bouncer left side, sliding grab by Galvis, flips over to first in time. What a play, and the runner's still over at third. Talk about hand-eye coordination. I mean, that's just soft hands right there.
Soft hands, great reflexes. I mean, you see that? Watch his eyes when he catches that ball. As soon as he caught that ball, the first thing he did was look at Peralta to see where he was. And once he saw he wasn't going, he knew quick. He had to be quick to first base with a strong, accurate throw to Tommy Joseph and keep that runner at third base and hopefully save that insurance run.
Yeah, and that's not a slow runner either.
No.
Goldschmidt, he can move. So Lamb is up. Lamb has an RBI tonight. How careful are you with Lamb?
Very.
With the righty up in the on-deck circle?
Absolutely, yes. You try to make him get himself out. And he's a relatively young player as far as being a starting player, but you know, this might be, he might not know if they're pitching to him or around him or. Wow.
Three and one. There may be parts of him where he may not know he's pitching around him.
That's exactly it right there. Is, you know, he's thinking 3-1. I'm going to get a fastball and I'm going to put us up 3. Got the breaking ball and way out in front.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, the dirt, ball 4. And now first and third with 2 men down. After the ball game coming up, it's Phillies post-game live presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Marshall Harris and Ben Davis are standing by. They'll talk about Aaron Nola's night, which was sort of unbalanced. A couple of big hits for Franco and Rupp, plus Gregor Blanco's game-tying 2-run home run. That's all coming up on Phillies post-game live. All right, so Peralta's over at third base. And Lamb's at first. And Chris Owings will be the batter.
Here, I think if I'm the Phillies right here, I would bring up the fact that Drury needs to move.
Yeah, he is exceedingly beyond the on-deck circle.
Yeah, and you know, he was the one who asked Joaquin Benoit to, you know, check the ball, and there's a reason why the on-deck circle is there. It's not just a decoration to add to the field.
Yeah, the on-deck circle is about, what would you say, about 10 feet from him?
10.
Now he's up on the grass.
And I know it's nitpicking, but it's.
Runner goes, pitch is hit to third. Loved by Maikel Franco. Inning is over. So Ramos is able to keep this at a 1-run game. No runs, a hit. 2 men left. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Do the Phils have a little more heroics? We'll find out. and deliveries of the game, and we go back to the productive 7th inning for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, the breaking ball by Aaron Nola, 2-run home run by Gregor Blanco tied that baseball game up, and then the RBI leader off of Pat Neshek coming in relief. The fly ball to center field. Peralta coming in to score to put the Diamondbacks up 5-4, and those are our W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
All right, so now as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, the Phils will have to face one of the hottest closers in baseball, and that's Fernando Rodney. Rodney will take over. He's 2nd in the league in saves with 18. Greg Holland leads the way with 21. But his earned run average is high. It's 5.11.
Yeah, that could have been, you know, a couple outings early, and
very true.
You know, that when you have minimal innings, it's 24 innings. I mean,
yeah. So he hasn't allowed a run in 14 2/3.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So you might come in and give up give up 3 runs in a third of an inning, and all of a sudden that. I don't think I put much stock in earned run average for closers.
John Smoltz used to talk about that, particularly early in the season when he'd give up a couple of runs.
Yeah.
If he did, he goes, well, it's going to take me till the All-Star break to get it down. So among the active pitchers, he is 3rd, well beyond Francisco Rodriguez, who just lost his closer's role with the Tigers. Now the often injured, but when he's healthy, good Houston Street. I think Craig Kimbrell is going to have something to say about the leaderboard at some point.
Yeah, he's good for 45-50 a year, it seems like.
Well, here is Ty Kelly to lead it off. 0 for 3 tonight.
Well, you know, Rodney's got the good fastball and the split finger that's pretty devastating a pitch once he gets ahead.
Ground ball, broke his bat. 1 pitch, 1 away. Well, Cameron Rupp is 1 for 2. He had a home run earlier in the game that tied it at 2. Let's see if he can do it a second time. And 2 to Rupp.
He's asking where that pitch was.
That'll be over the Phillies dugout out of play. Rodney is a 3-time All-Star, including last year. Got to give him credit. He just keeps on closing.
Been with a bunch of different teams.
.25 saves last year between the Padres and the Marlins. Another one popped up. Well, he certainly uses the outside part of the plate. Tomorrow we'll be on TCN. It's an earlier start. We'll be on at 4 o'clock. Jared Eichhoff against Zach Godley. And Fernando Rodney has just struck out Cameron Rupp for the 2nd out. Did that look like a guy that was looking for a different pitch there?
Yeah, but 2 strikes. I mean, it's all about protecting. That was a split finger that started up, stayed up, didn't get that big downward break that Fernando Rodney usually gets on that split finger, but You know, actually a pretty good pitch to hit.
Yeah, it was.
You don't get to see a fork ball up there too often.
Here's Freddie Galvis. And Galvis takes the split down low, 1-0. Diamondbacks have won 4 consecutive games, trying to make it 5 in a row. Colorado's trailing in the 5th inning against San Francisco. Popped him up, right side, and this should do it. Waiting for it is Drury. He makes the catch, and the Diamondbacks take game 1 of this 3-game series. It is a 5-4 victory, and I guess you can add another 1-run win to the Diamondbacks line as they come from behind to win it tonight over the Phils. Well, the bullpen did its job for the Diamondbacks. Turns out to put together 3 straight scoreless innings. Gregor Blanco, his 2-run home run. Well, that was one of the big blows that sent Aaron Nola to the showers. Last 15 starts, .310 average. He is our Chevrolet player of the game. So the Diamondbacks have now won 8 of 9 as they win tonight by 1. They take game 1 of this series. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this.